all you need to memorize is, okay, step 1, I'm going to set the scene. Step 2, I'm going to just kind of talk about some background here. And step 3, I'm going to say I have herpes. And then step 4, I'm going to ask him, what do you know about that? That's your structure. Everything within each one of those capsules is like ad-libbed, in the moment. Trust your heart. Translate your heart into words. You got this. Hi, I'm Adriel, creator of the Herpes Opportunity, which is all about positively shifting your mindset, disclosing to potential partners in a way that truly connects you, and ultimately finding the love that you want and deserve. Now you can check out the free ebook linked in the description below about having the talk. And now, onto the video. I hope you enjoy it. That is really common, like trying to find that balance, right? Of you don't want it to seem scripted. You don't want it to seem like I'm gonna say this soliloquy now, and you're just gonna sit there and listen to my stage performance. As you might imagine, I get this question a lot of like, so what do you say and how do you disclose? I really try to avoid the topic, not about like disclosure in general, but like the words to say, because that then gets us back into script mentality, right? And what I've found is once you get the facts in your mind, those are retrievable at any moment. The most important thing is that you get to the I have herpes, or I'm a carrier of HSV2 or HSV1 or whatever as soon as possible. So that you can then say, what do you know about it? Because that stops you from what happens all the time that I see, where you start getting nervous and you're like, oh, and you don't want to say the phrase "I have herpes." So before you're like, and I've like it hasn't been that big of a deal, but I have something to tell you. But it's okay if you're gonna reject me. I mean, and the person's like, whoa, like. Do you have cancer? Like, tell me, like, what's going on? Like, are you dying? So as soon as you can just like say those words, which are the scariest words to say, but the most freeing words to say, you say, I have herpes. So what do you know about it? What have you heard about it? Their answer is going to then dictate the fork in the road that you go down. They're going to be like, what's herpes? Oh, okay. Let me go into education mode. Like herpes 101. Here's what I know. They could answer, I have herpes. I know all about it. Or my best friend has herpes. Or my mom has herpes. I know enough about it, but I've never had sex with someone with herpes. So can you tell me about like transmission rates and stuff? Right? So that's a different kind of education moment. Right? So there's all sorts of these different ways that you can go, but you'll only get that information once you blurt out those words. Right? And you'll get a sense of where they're at, like availability wise too. Right? So like what structure I would give you is to first like open the space with like, hey, so I have something pretty important that I want to talk to you about. Like, are you up for that? Are you available for that? They might not be. They might be like, whoa, hold on. No, we're just having fun or whatever. If they say yes, okay, great. So let's like, you want some water? Like, let's sit down on the couch, like create a space for it, like make sure you're in, privacy, maybe you're not in bed naked together. But at least you're private, like you're sitting on the couch together, you have a drink. And then you just kind of start it off with, so I have something important to tell you. Like our relationship so far, like we've been on a few dates. I really appreciate how much I feel like I can trust you. Like that's, in my experience, it's pretty rare, right? Like speaking to something about the relationship and what would have you feel safe enough to disclose, right? Like speak to the relationship, like connect to that layer of vulnerability of like, thank you for being the kind of person that I feel safe with, right? And from there, you know, like, yeah, so I as you can tell, I'm hesitant to like even say words, but you know, so it feels like a script, but just like a really quick thing of like, just some of your background around it. And like, yeah, you know, I've been kind of struggling with this thing for, you know, however long it's been. But I want you to know about this thing because I'm interested. I see that this relationship might be going somewhere. And I want to share with you because integrity and openness and talking openly about possible difficult subjects is really important to me in a relationship, right? So with all that being said, I just wanted to share with you that I have herpes. What do you know about it? Right? Like you're setting the stage in all of the positive ways. It's like you're reframing all of the things that, you know, you're setting the stage in a positive way, right? So that you don't just blurt it. Like, hey, I have something important to tell you. Hey, I have herpes. It's like in either extreme, whether there's that, you know, and this isn't to make fun of people who, you know, just kind of foam at the mouth and like talk about everything. Because I did it myself at the beginning. It was just like, you don't want to say those words. So you say too much and it feels like they're drinking from the fire hose. And it's like 15 minutes later, then it's like, okay, I have herpes. Or if you say it way too early and you don't put some context around it, then it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot in either direction. You know, there needs to be like, you need to get to the point as quick as possible, but you also need to like contextualize it in a way that like, there's a reason I'm telling you this. And it's not just because I'm scared, right? Either direction, if you say it too quickly and if you say it 15 minutes later, it's because of fear of rejection. And I just want to get this out of the way. I have herpes. Go ahead and reject me now. Or I don't want to say it. I'm just going to say everything else but that for the next 15 minutes. And then finally I have to say it. Ugh. So the setting the context is, it's for them, but it's also for you to contextualize it in your own mind that this isn't you throwing a grenade over this brick wall and waiting for it to explode and you get rejected. It's like, it's setting the stage for you to have a positive disclosure experience too. Saying, this is why I'm doing it. This is who I see you as. This is what's important to me in relationship. Like you're transmitting all of these things about like the kind of relationship you want to have, the kind of relationship you have to yourself, the kind of relationship you have to truth. So as far as a structure goes, you can think of it in terms of like, those are the guardrails where you don't necessarily have to memorize words that then become sentences that then become paragraphs. All you need to memorize is, okay, you know, step 1, I'm going to set the scene. Step 2, I'm going to just kind of talk about some background here. And step 3, I'm going to say I have herpes. And then step 4, I'm going to ask him, what do you know about that? That's your structure. Everything within each one of those capsules is like ad-libbed in the moment. Trust your heart. Translate your heart into words. You got this. You know what I mean? Like, and then it'll come out right. Even if you're stuttering, it's going to feel so much better to be in the moment and real and stuttered than a perfectly executed word for word soliloquy. It's just going to feel so much more connected. Yeah. Well, I hope you got a lot out of that video. And if you did, please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and keep an eye out for more videos just like this.